So, yo, but hey,
Let's get to
we
it.
good?
Let's
Yeah.
get to it. We're already talking about him.
Let's go. We got to move right into this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish the show with this. And I just think we have to ask this question. Look, we know in the last 9 games, Taylor Heineke is 6-2-1. He has played, let's be honest, he struggled. He struggled. And there have been a couple games, you talk about the Colts game, maybe even the Falcons game, where, but for a couple drives, we easily are saying, get him out of here. And the X factor in all of this is the fact that Taylor has been winning. The 4-game stretch that he had a year ago definitely gave him some boost and kept him in down the stretch. Now, we didn't have, somebody like a Carson behind him, but at the same time, he's winning. He's getting the job done. We know about the energy of the team and things like that. He's opened up the deep ball. But do we...
Why are you gonna make me?
I don't know,
first?
man. I'll do it. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Look, because I gotta say, because Heineke, he's been doing great. He's been moving it. He's been doing. He's a shot in the arm, and especially those last 2 minutes, he gets the job done at times. Not every time, but he keeps us in there and he gives us a belief. But there's something we've said. I said it earlier, and I said it to Ben right here. I said a couple weeks ago, Heineke has those 4 or 5 good games. Looks like, and that's then it kind of comes. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know those 4 or 5 good games, because a lot of those games he struggled. He struggled throughout the game, and it was able to make a couple plays. Our defense and running game was able to help sustain a lead or keep us in the game. But realistically, playing San Francisco, who is top 5 defense, if not the best defense in the league, then Cleveland, who has a top 10 defense and is a solid pass rush, then Dallas, who we already know, and then after that, potentially a Minnesota or Tampa, which we feel a little better about that, or San Francisco again. We need to have a threat, and I love what we saw by Taylor letting the ball loose, throwing deep a couple times. But can he sustain it? I don't know. My suggestion, it's a very tricky situation, because you can't just all of a sudden say, boop, you lost 1 game, put this guy in. You know what I mean? I think you start Taylor. I think you still start Taylor, but I think you you play it the way you play. This game has a potential to get away from us if we get hit a couple mistakes on our offense. And if they start really exploiting us with their weapons. If this is, I do think you have to have that conversation. If Taylor comes in the game and throws, and it's not close, I think you have to have that conversation. You have a fresh Wentz there, but the problem that I have is if you have that conversation and you bring in Wentz, you better be ready to stick with him, because it's right in limbo. You can very easily lose the team, and then we're back to where we were a year ago. So I'm saying start Taylor Heineke, but I'm also saying, why we brought him here. This is a business. Explain it to him straight up. This is a business. You have been successful. You're 6-2-1 over the last 9 weeks. That's great. We have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. We can run it with you, and we're trusting you to do it. But we want to have the best opportunity to win. If things struggle, we will have both guys are going to be running first team reps. And we'll give you the nod, but beware. Just be aware. So what are you thinking, man?
So you're saying Taylor starts Sunday?
I'm saying start Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. Did you put this up? I was going to put up Nathan my click. Yeah.
That's
so
Nathan.
Nathan says you put up Carson.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. This is what we're going up against the next 3 weeks. You got San Francisco with the dominating defense.
Yep.
You've got Cleveland with a heck of a defense and a heck of a pass rush and Myles Garrett. And you have Dallas, Micah Parsons and their front 4.
Yeah.
Do we have the offensive line to be successful against those if you have a statue back there. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Right. Right.
But we also didn't bring in another quarterback because we felt that Heineke could take us to the promised land either.
Right.
So it's a tough situation because Heineke, if we would not have, we would have named you the starter, but we went out and got somebody who can do what you can't do.
There it is.
So on Sunday, we go with Taylor Heineke. You give him another chance. He had one bad game. And they kept saying, as long as you keep winning. Well, we lose to San Francisco, which I think we're going to. Now he's lost 2 in a row. You're getting to the point now where at that point, Detroit, if they win, will have leapfrogged us in the playoffs. And we're down to the final playoff spot. And honestly, Sean, at that point, 7th seed, I don't really care. Yep. Bring back Carson Wentz, give him a chance, give him 2 games, see if he's a redemption project there. See if he has a chance to say, "Hey guys, you need to pick up my option for next year, or we need to have a negotiate something else to let me go because I can do this." But they better have a game plan that Scott Turner's got to be perfect. If you put him in, you got to feature the running game, and you better have the tight ends helping the block, and you better call quick passing plays.
Yep.
Because he's a statue back there. So this will be, I think it's too early to say yet, but so you go with Heineke, and if we lose on Sunday, he's now lost 2 in a row. As Ben said, the magic is kind of fading away, just like it did last year. The Pixie Dust. So then you look to bring in Wentz again. But for right now, you go back to Heineke.
I think you have to because just like we've all been talking about, we want to see what we have. We want to make sure, see if Carson can do this with a running game. Do you want to see what you have in Heineke to say? This is it. This is where we go. Like, can you do it? And it's going to be interesting. They said Taylor reminds me of Dan Marino's backup. Scott Mitchell?
I was convinced he was going to be great. Scott Mitchell was great with the Dolphins.
He was good, man. When he had Herman Moore, Brett Perriman, and obviously Barry Sanders, Johnny Morton for those Lions.
He was terrible with them. Terrible. Yeah.
He said a redemption project. Yeah. Wow. Who Carson?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Nathan likes Carson. I don't think. But then he also said to put him in, so I don't understand that. I think we've said it before. Is my thing with Carson is the offensive philosophy was not the same as it is with Heineke. We did not feature running the ball as much. We did not feature some of the same plays. It's like I'd love to see him get a chance with that.
Right. Absolutely.
Because honestly, man, we're at the point where, with this, I want to play Minnesota in the playoffs. I'll say that. I'll be completely honest. If I want to play Minnesota because I know we can beat Minnesota, they are a fraud. Okay. But if you go up against San Francisco, if you go up against Dallas, I mean, it's like we're just hanging on for one more week. Let's be honest.
Well, wait. Because we can't get that 5th seed anymore. Because I was about to say, if we get the 5th seed, we could potentially play the winner of the NFC South, which I feel confident in that game.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, absolutely. 6th and 7th, yeah.
But I don't know if we can get the 5th seed unless Dallas basically loses out.
No.
I don't think we can.
No, I think they said that the Giants would get that, and then they would have to go play San Francisco as of right now.
Right.
Which, that's worse. Wouldn't that be so funny if we get in and get the better of the 2 games because of that?
Just our luck. He said, "I'm a fan of Carson. He's just been scapegoated every team he's been on so far."
Yeah. I don't, but I think this season Carson hasn't done what he needs to do to shut up the Nathan Rosarios in the world. That said, he's done.
Nicholas,
I'm sorry, I'm butchering names here.
But you're right though. But because that's my problem. And look, there is a school of thought that says, "Hey, let's see what he's like with a running game. Maybe things will be different if he has a 2-headed monster with Gibson and Brian Robinson. Who knows?" But prior to that, and it's not even stats wise. Because like we said, up until this game, Carson Wentz was still leading our team in passing yards. You know what I mean? Like, so he was putting up numbers, but there's little things that he's not doing. Talk about that mobility in the backfield. We need to, with our line, we need to have a quarterback that is not only mobile, but is not afraid to run. Taylor ain't afraid to run at all. He'll get out there and he'll start diving forward and John Elway in it, trying to get that extra yard. He'll do that. Carson won't do that. And that, going back to our conversation about sports psychology, that is the prime example of somebody that just has not been able to get it back mentally, or it's just not showing on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nathan, I'm with you. This is the argument that Sean and I keep saying. It's like,
yeah,
it just gives you that little bit of like, can we just see? Can we see one more time? But we've given Heineke over 30 starts. Like, come on. Can we give Carson 2 more?
I agree. But even in the comment, like you're saying with an offense that can stay healthy, we don't have that. We've proven that. We're on our third string tight center. Our tight ends have been, Logan Thomas. We talk about that ACL. He looks like he's coming back from an ACL. He doesn't look great. Right. Bates has been what Bates has been, a good blocker and good for a catch or two in a game, if that. And then the total bust, at least right now, is Cole Turner, the tight end, the other guy. So we don't have healthy guys. We don't have tight ends or guys that are playing fully up to their par. So it's almost like, it's a recipe to fail for Carson if you bring him in. You know what I mean?
But Sean and I were not one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing with Carson is he won't play the 70%. So we are not losing our second round pick. We're giving him our third round pick. And there's a chance that we'll get the compensatory pick from Brandon Sheriff signing. So we will get a third round pick in the draft.
Right. And look, in certain aspects of this whole situation, you have to look at like certain facts. Fact of the matter is Taylor Heineke has played 5 years in this system. He knows the system well. Even if Carson had been at the level that he was playing out of North Dakota State, he still does not know the system as well as Heineke does. So that's why Heineke is able to still kind of thrive in the system, because he knows it. So Carson was already playing from behind. You know what I mean? So Carson, regardless, is going to need time to get really acclimated with the system. We're talking about potentially an entire season. And then you're adding in injuries and certain players not doing X, Y, and Z, and then maybe getting behind the chains, or there's a lot of other things coming in. But yeah, I definitely think that I would like to see what he can do with our running game. I would too, honestly. I'm not wishing for injury for Taylor, but I would love to see what Carson can do with how things are going. Maybe he does better. Especially with our defense. That's the other thing. Our defense wasn't playing great earlier in the year. Our defense has been playing very solid as of late. So, hey, we're talking about Carson playing with potentially an entirely different team, with the exception of maybe the O-line. So,
we'll see.
We'll never know. You never know.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.